I played a Digimon game, but was it better than Pokemon?
Is it better than Pokemon? Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Completed Edition, reviewed on the Nintendo Switch.
Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth was the first Digimon game I ever played or heard of, to be honest. I remember Digimon series very vaguely, but I do remember it was really trying to cash in on that Pokemon hype back in the day. And I know the series went its own way, but let's be honest, that's what this franchise or original purpose was, to mimic and piggyback off Pokemon. Piggyback, I think that's the correct term, I don't know why I say piggyback. Anyway, when I got this game, having my limited knowledge of Digimon from the early 2000s, I thought this would be just a Pokemon clone, nothing else. And I was actually very wrong. It's a clone of Shin Megami Tensei games. Especially it reminds me of Tokyo Mirage Session FE, if you know this game, which is not a bad comparison to be fair. So what this game is like. This game is very futuristic, it's all about hacking and stuff like that, and it turns out Digi in Digimon means digital. Who would have thought that? Anyway, you are a dude or a gal that goes into this digital world, or metaverse, if you will, and you investigate recent accounts of hacking and breaching of data. Well, you're like a GDPR police apparently. So when I say investigate, you walk up to people and press A and story happens. Most of the story and situations are not very involved or interesting, if I'm being really honest. At the beginning anyway. I did start to pay more attention when Kuremi appeared, not only because of the obvious reasons, but also as the game opened up a bit, and it turns out you are not only stuck in one location in this game, which is very neat. But still, the most of the game does take place in the cyberspace, which feels very similar to dungeons in something like Tokyo Mirage Session or in Persona games.
Just quite a little bit less creative.
There are essentially corridors with random encounters and loot. But let's talk about what you want to hear, aka the monster catching and fighting, and surprisingly it's not that similar to Pokemon. It's turn-based, yes, and it does involve little cute animals, but here you don't choose which Digimon you want to use in a fight. You get a team of 3 that all fight together, kinda like in Temtem. You never fight alone unless you get only one Digimon in your party, or other ones get knocked out or something.
Just a tiny bit of correction, you actually can't switch Digimon during the battle and you get more than 3.
Otherwise, it's a standard turn-based RPG. You have normal attack that doesn't use any mana or PP, and your special attack that does. And you even see your battle queue, which is neat, though as far as I've seen, you can't influence it at all. So it's there just for your knowledge, I guess. The more you know,
My apologies, another correction, you actually can influence it by changing different attacks or guarding. So there are ways to influence the queue, to, for example, get yourself more goes in a row and stuff like that to create a link. So yeah, apologies, another correction.
But, Cynical P, how do you get the cute little iconic and totally original Digimon into your party? Well, it's simple guys. Calm down, I'll tell you now. You fight them over and over again. Yeah, in this game when you defeat a Digimon, it increases your research level of that particular Digimon, and that can then allow you to summon the Digimon in your Digilab. So, if you get 100% or more, you can summon one of the Digimon, and the more percentage you have, the stronger they are, from what I understand. Also, interestingly, one Digimon can evolve into a lot of different Digimon. So summoning some type of Digimon, I say this word way too much here, is not necessarily a bad thing, as you can evolve them in different ways. This all kind of reminds me of Yokai Watch. First of all, the Digimon research part, as in Yokai, you do really the same thing, except you befriend them, because Yokai Watch is for pussies. Only joking. But it is more family friendly, so you befriend them, and you have to encounter the same type of creature multiple times to be able to have them join your party. As well as the fact that in Yokai, you also have different evolutionary paths for different Yokai, the same like here in Digimon.
Oh my god, another correction, I'm sorry, it's the last time I'm making video while I'm sick. Probably. Anyway, in Yokai you don't actually have different evolutionary paths of different Yokai. Well, some of them do, but mostly it is about fusing a few different Yokai together and they create something else. So that's what I kind of remembered while I was sick and with a high temperature, so do excuse me.
So, you know, Yokai Watch came out first, so did Digimon copy them? No, they didn't. As this is very similar to mechanics in Persona games or, you know, the basic Shin Megami games, so no, I'm not judging it here. I have to judge, however, how similar this game is to Shin Megami Tensei, especially Tokyo Mirage Session. Just to be clear, the both games came out the same year, so there's no way either of them have copied each other, but I mean, this game is so similar, it's crazy. But question is still stands. Is Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth better than Pokemon? No, it's not. I mean, maybe it's better than Pearl and Diamond remakes in terms of presentation, especially as it's quite nice looking for what is essentially a Vita port. But gameplay wise, story wise, and overall game quality wise, this is no Sword and Shield, and it's not even fair to compare it to Legend Arceus, as it doesn't even come close. Even though it's a little bit older, it's still a great RPG, story is getting better as you play, and there are interesting characters. And for those of you who love it, there is a lot of fan service, so enjoy, I guess. But what really kept me hooked were the battles and finding and completing research on Digimon and trying to evolve them. It is addicting with the story sprinkle on top of it to create quite satisfying meal. It might not be a restaurant meal, but maybe more like a local kebab kind of meal. But I don't think there's anything wrong with a kebab every now and then. Overall, I think this is a game worth playing. I think Pokemon fans which like to do the fights in Pokemon, but are not looking for a very in-depth experience, just something simple to tide them over to Gen 9, will really enjoy this game. Or any really fan of RPG can enjoy this game, as long as you're not expecting Persona 5 level of quality. I recommend it, especially on sale, as I got it for 10 quid on Switch, and it has all the DLC included, which has like completely brand new story from different like perspective and all that, so I think it's definitely worth the price. Whilst it's not better than Pokemon, I think it's still worth a buy, so if you're interested, have a look at this game, and do suggest other games that we can have a look at this, what I now decided to be a series of is it better than Pokemon. So let me know down in the comments what games you would like to see in this series, and also like this video and subscribe, because we're trying to grow this channel and we're growing it very fast, so I really do appreciate all of the support that you guys are showing recently. We are closing at 400 subs, which is very, very, very exciting. So yeah, that's everything. So I see you next time. Bye.